USA versus Venezuela, full breakdown, 2026 crisis. What just happened? The big event. In the early hours of January 3rd, 2026, the United States launched a major military operation against Venezuela, codenamed Operation Absolute Resolve. U.S. forces conducted strikes around Caracas, entered Venezuelan territory, and captured President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. They were then flown to the United States and detained in New York to face federal criminal charges, including narco-terrorism and drug trafficking. U.S. President Donald Trump announced the operation publicly, calling it a success and saying the U.S. will run Venezuela temporarily and oversee a transition process. How the operation unfolded. This was not a spontaneous strike. It was the culmination of months of U.S. military buildup and pressure. By late 2025, the U.S. had significantly increased naval and military presence in the southern Caribbean and carried out strikes on suspected drug trafficking targets inside Venezuela. Explosions and low-flying aircraft were reported over Caracas early on January 3rd as U.S. forces struck key targets. Maduro and his wife were taken from their residence by U.S. Special Operations and flown to the USS Iwo Jima, then to New York. What caused this crisis? This didn't happen in isolation. Several long-running issues contributed. U.S. allegations of narco-trafficking. The U.S. has claimed for years that Maduro and top Venezuelan officials are involved in drug trafficking through the Cartel of the Suns, a criminal network allegedly tied to the Venezuelan state. Maduro had been indicted in U.S. courts since 2020 on narco-terrorism and drug importation charges. In late 2025, the U.S. designated the Cartel of the Suns as a terrorist organization, escalating pressure on Maduro's regime. Decades of friction U.S. relations with Venezuela have been strained for years due to ideological disputes, Venezuelan socialism versus U.S. governments, U.S. sanctions on Venezuelan oil revenues, accusations of human rights abuses, and election irregularities in Venezuela. These tensions built a foundation for military pressure before the January 2026 operation. Immediate aftermath. The situation on the ground is tense and rapidly unfolding. Venezuela's leadership. With Maduro detained in the U.S., Vice President Delcy Rodriguez has been declared interim president by Venezuela's Supreme Court. She and senior officials still claim Maduro is the legitimate leader and have denounced the U.S. action as kidnapping and aggression. U.S. control and plans. Trump says the U.S. will administer Venezuela temporarily until a stable transition can be arranged. He also referenced using Venezuelan oil resources as part of economic reconstruction. Global and domestic reaction. The operation has triggered a wide range of responses. Criticism from many world leaders and international law experts, arguing the U.S. violated Venezuela's sovereignty and international law. Some U.S. lawmakers and Democrats criticized Trump for acting without congressional approval. Allies and adversaries are reacting differently. Some call for peaceful diplomatic solutions. Others condemn the intervention outright. Why this matters? This is a historic escalation in U.S. foreign intervention in Latin America. It marks the military removal and capture of a sitting head of state, a rare and dramatic action. It poses major questions about international law, sovereignty, and U.S. global strategy. It reshapes the geopolitical dynamic in the region, especially relations with countries like Russia, China, and Cuba.